There's no need to worry. This commission is not dangerous by any means. Perhaps you have heard that Inazuma will soon be holding a major festival, the magnificent Irodori Festival.
Yay!
What the hell?
Oh, come to think of it, we haven't attended a festival in Inazuma for a while.
The Yashiro Commission and Lady Yae are responsible for all the festival preparations. The one who has requested your help is none other than Lady Yae herself.
Oh, that bitch. No, that bitch again.
She always has some unusual ideas in her head. You can bet a festival planned by her is gonna be one to remember. We better go to Grand Narukami Shrine and see what she needs us to do.
Sure.
Lady Yae is currently at Yae Publishing House in Hanamizaka, so there is no need to go all the way to the shrine. In fact, she has instructed me to have you directly meet with her there.
Oh, well that's convenient enough.
Strange tale of Suko's tipsy what? Come on, man. Tipsy tincture. Okay. What the?
Explorers make the same mistakes.
What up?
Aratani and Kuroda, how are things coming along?
All the books and commission prints for Yae Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yae.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Apekusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden with Unlimited Power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
Well done. And what about you, Onodera? Ahem. Onodera?
Oh, yes, Lady Yae. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence. Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party.
Yes, Lady Yae. Thank you very much.
All right then. Is everyone clear about their assignments? Good. We are running out of time, so let's get moving. Chop chop.
Yeah, right. British language and Japanese.
Hello,
country.
little ones. I take it you have received my commission,
Some organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the Grand Narukami Shrine? You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
Yeah, he's a bitch.
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk from you two. But as you can clearly see, I'm here working like a dog for the festival. Yet you say I'm not doing my job. Let me ask you, little ones. Whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all.
Yes, that is true. But now that the Sokoku decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail. Therefore, rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time, we'll be holding an international cultural festival, distinctly Inazuman, but with a unique twist. I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of the Irodori Festival.
Irodori.
Legend has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted, and every year one of the 5 would present a collection of the group's poems to the shogun for review, which would then spark culture discussions regarding those works. Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time. As time passed, people began creating various tales based on the 5 chasm. The Iridori Festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
Indeed. To describe it in the words of the ancients, it'd be refined elegance. Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the Five Kasen and the festival, which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Iridori Festival by holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
But wait a minute! Light novels?
Please stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage, but nowadays, the entertainment format of choice is light novels. The important thing is not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past. Speaking of which, don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma? And besides, it's a great opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to all Teyvat through light novels. As they say, it's two birds with one stone.
Whoa, that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persuasive tongue. Come on, Miko! You can't fool us. We know you by now. This is all definitely stemming from your own personal interests.
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here. Well, what do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interests...
Maybe a little. Oh, all right. Paimon's super curious now.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival. There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your tasks.
$700?
During the Iridori Festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs, once things are in full swing, not only will there be lots of this small plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the Five Kasen Plaza during the festival.
How'd you Paimon put... me?
Yes, those are...
Ah, Lady I did mention that there would be some reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. It appears she meant you two. At last we meet again, Traveler and Paimon. Tell me, how are you faring recently?
Oh, it's Ayato! Wow, so even a busy guy like yourself is here to attend the Iridori Festival.
Preparing festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of responsibilities. Seeing as Lady Yae has poured her heart and soul into the preparations, I'm obliged to be equally dedicated.
Come now, Ayato. We're not strangers here. There's no need to sound so formal. We were just about to discuss the boards over here. They're related to our little helper's tasks, so I'll let you give them a detailed rundown.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Iridori Festival originated from the Five Kasen. These 5 boards are here for painting their portraits. This Iridori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Inazuma since the lifting of the Sakoku Decree, it is also an event deeply rooted in culture and the arts. Therefore, the Yashiro Commission has personally invited several cultural celebrities from other nations. For example, the artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt. The Yashiro Commission will arrange accommodations and food in Inazuma for each of the distinguished guests. However, we fear that staying in a foreign land may feel a little uncomfortable, which is precisely why it would be ideal to have someone familiar with both Inazuma and other nations of Teyvat to serve as a guide for our guests. I knew you would catch on. It is our hope that you would be able to guide the guests from the harbor to their residence at the International Trade Association, while providing any necessary assistance along the way. This arrival schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do is go to the docks at the indicated times.
Holy shit.
It's settled then. My, look at the time. I have to meet with my editors, so I must be going now. During the festival, most of the Yai Publishing House's editors will be staying near the Outlander Affairs Agency. If you run into any problems, you may find them there.
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
All the details we need about the ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. Let's take a closer look and be sure to pick up the passengers according to the times written on it.
Easy Primus, boys. Easy Primus. Shincho already have Shincho. What the hell? See? 6 to 8. Let's go! Let's go! Okay, done.
According to the arrival schedule, there will be a ship arriving from Mondstadt today. The artists for the 5 chasm portraits should be on board. The boat should be arriving soon, so let's head down to the docks.
Yeah, let me just catch this fish real quick. Oh, bitch ass fish, just get in there. Hello? What the hell?
Yeah, you nearly got him. Whew, that was a tough fight.
Bonus! Nice! How many fishes we have? Let's see. 18.5. 6. Yes.
Hello, you must be here to take part in the Iridori Festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt.
Bards. What the fuck is... Shouldn't Venti be with them?
Word has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of late. We hope to find fresh inspiration here.
These guests are all bards, aren't they? then. Huh. Strange. He's pretty famous in Mondstadt. Do you think he didn't receive an invitation? Huh? Why's that? Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Vendi no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon. If he came rushing to Inazuma at the first mention of a festival, not only would it seem a little childish, it would also sort of be...
Oh, he's gonna come, alright.
Mr. Honorary Knight, Paimon!
It's Klee! Were you also invited to the Iridori Festival?
No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation. But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged for someone here to issue me a dependent pass.
Greetings, Traveler in Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making preparations for the Irodori Festival, I predicted that I might run into you here.
Ha! Paimon knew it! Albedo's the one they've invited to paint the 5 Kasen!
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma, Calx. Oh, by the way, do you know where the International Trade Association is? I'll be meeting with the editorial director of the Yai Publishing House there.
Yeah, the International Trade Association is where you'll be staying in Inazuma. We'll be heading there too.
Great. Let's get going then.
No time to lose.
20. Better be here, 20, my boy.
No time to lose.
Wow, it's so beautiful here! So many things I've never seen before.
Slow down, Klee. Please be careful not to bump into others. Telling Klee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was probably not the best idea. As a result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited now that we've arrived. Strange. It seems that the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama, isn't here yet. Well, Mr. Hiroyama was supposed to meet with me and give me some reference materials about the 5 Kasen today. That way, I could better visualize the content for my paintings.
You mean you had no idea what you'd be painting before you arrived in Inazuma?
I only know of the 5 Kasen by name. Because of the sheer age of the tale, very little has been passed down to this day. So Mr. Hiroyama decided to help me collect some more information. I'm the type of painter who can complete a painting quickly as long as I'm inspired. So I agreed on only receiving the details today.
So when do the paintings have to be done by?
According to the festival plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the Irodori Festival. The first one, depicting Suiko, will need to be done before the festival's official opening ceremony, which is the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow? Then you're already running out of time!
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished at the last minute. Just last month, to ensure the latest book of A Legend of Sword would be finished for the Irodori Festival, I had to complete the final chapter's illustrations the same day I received the manuscript. I heard that my illustrations were sent to print as soon as they arrived in Inazuma. I still don't know how well they turned out.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions or compliment you on your artistic genius.
Of course, I would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance, so that I can be better prepared.
Oh, right! The editors of the Yai Publishing House will all be around the Outlander Affairs Agency these next few days. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Hiroyama's over there too. We'll take you over there to see if we can find him, Albert.
Alright, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please stay at our residence in the International Trade Association and get some rest. We will be back soon.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
Yes, right, Glee, of course.
This can't be happening. The moment we need to contact Onodera is when he's on special leave. Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run. The demand for this book is so high, though. Even with the emergency prints, it still might not be enough.
Despite everything, we're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few days later, then we'd really be in boiling water. Ugh. Hey, do you think that suspicious guy they found in the warehouse has anything to do with this?
Well, the editorial director is on his way over there to investigate the situation as we speak.
Sorry to interrupt, but what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Traveler. Don't worry.
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hirayama.
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata. Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was invited to paint the 5 kasen for the festival?
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the 5 kasen. I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr. Hirayama know to send you the materials right away.
Oh, no need. You guys look super busy, so we can go find them ourselves.
About that.
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of Legends of Sword?
Huh? How did you know?
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up. To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hirayama directly. After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to a Legends of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
Well, earlier today, someone spotted a suspicious outlander sneaking around inside the Iridori Festival warehouse down by the docks. So they promptly alerted the Tenryou Commission. The Tenryou Commission was concerned about potential cargo theft, so they contacted everyone who was renting space in the warehouse. It was then that we realized that the latest copies of A Legend of Sword had suddenly gone missing.
What? The books are missing?
Shh, not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Iridori Festival, but the author, Chin-Yu, will be personally attending the release party as well.
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hirayama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine...
I see. It would be a great misfortune if Mr. Hirayama has gone to the warehouse at the...
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jin?
Oh, do you know him?
Shincho would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing. Let's accompany Albedo to the warehouse, too.
Venti, my boy.
Huh? It's you! Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryou Commission, of course. Is that surprising?
No, Sora, Paimon wasn't talking about you! So, Tone Deaf Bard. The suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me. As I have told you, you are a suspect. Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again. Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed bard from Mondstadt?
Listen, Sora. Knowing him, it's safe to say that he wasn't behind the theft. But what's this about being a stowaway?
Although he claims to be a special guest for the Iridori Festival, he's failed to present his invitation letter. Therefore, we can only suspect that he might have entered the country illegally. And just a moment ago, we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze. If it would help shed any light on the situation, then please, be my guest.
Motherfucker.
Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
Ouch! Your words wound me. We've been apart for so long, and the moment we meet again, all I'm greeted with is grilling questions and suspicious glares. You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard. You of all people should be more understanding, don't you think?
Similar means?
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission. It's unlikely that someone acquainted with the likes of him would ever be here illegally. Right.
But why weren't you on the same ship as the other bards?
Well, once I received the invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting dandelion wine. So, naturally, I decided to set sail with them. Once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way. I must have fallen asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake.
This motherfucker. Holy shit, man.
And when I woke up, I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryo Commission General glaring at me from atop the grate.
Coming from Venti, this story is quite believable. But it still feels a bit...
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the IA publishing house, and there are some questions I would like to ask you. Based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the warehouse for some time now. If that's the case, did you happen to hear anything unusual?
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me a couple of times, but I didn't consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
But if you clearly heard something, why didn't you feel it was unusual?
Oh, I seem to understand now.
Huh? What did you notice, Albedo?
When it comes to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. What Venti means is that he did not hear anything unusual like that. As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are coming in and out each day, it is quite normal for people to be walking around.
I see. But if that's the case, then we're back to square one regarding the stolen books.
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now. First, whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights on the books from the very beginning. Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse, and might even have a key.
True.
And third... I knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time. It must have been a team effort. It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama, the Tenryo Commission will continue by investigating the warehouse staff. If you come across any further clues, please notify us immediately.
Yes, understood. I'll leave it to you then.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Sara's quite the meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry. I can't seem to remember where I may have put it.
How could you lose something so important?
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. But I didn't bring any luggage with me, and the letter was too big to fit in my pocket. So I kept it in my hand the whole trip. Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I know that I kept it in a secure place. I even recall being most pleased at coming up with a good idea at the time.
If you were holding the invitation in your hands the whole time, then why did you put it down?
Well, to properly compare the taste of Mondstadt wine and Inazuman sake, I had to hold a glass in each hand. I couldn't both hold the invitation and a glass at the same time. But surely I wouldn't put it in just any random place. It could easily be misplaced.
In which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out, Traveler?
Huh? You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
Where could it be? Warehouse? In his shoe, in his hat for sure.
Ah, yes! I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission. Now that we've confirmed this guest's identity, I have no further questions. However, starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be leaving now.
There goes Sara. Alright, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference material.
Mr. Hiroyama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are, Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess. These are the materials regarding the 5 chasm. All the information that we could find is compiled here.
Damn, expect to log.
Let's see here. Yes, it's just as I had suspected. Monikers such as Suiko and Aoi no Okina aren't the real names of the 5 Kasen. Though there were once many stories regarding each of the 5 Kasen, the validity of their contents can no longer be verified in present times. Alas, what a shame. But at the very least, we know that most of the stories were written according to a similar style. So there is still something we may glean from this.
So, is the info useful for your paintings, Albedo?
To some extent, yes. However, I must admit that it is still lacking and fails to fulfill the most crucial element. Inspiration.
I am sorry that this information is not as exhaustive as you had hoped. However, it is not possible to gather anything more at the moment. Though, Lady Yai did say that there are many variations of the story about the 5 Kasen, and everyone has a different story in their heart. So all you need to do is follow through with what's in your own heart, and create something that you yourself find interesting.
That does sound like something Miko would say.
Thank you, Mr. Hirayama. No need to worry. I'll find inspiration for the portraits.
Great. I'll leave it to you then, Calx. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to ask of everyone. Tomorrow morning, Mr. Genyu, the author of A Legend of Sword, will be arriving in Inazuma by boat. If you see him, please do not mention the stolen novels for the time being. Whether the stolen books are eventually recovered or not, the Yai Publishing House will do its best to ensure that the novel's release is a success. You have my gratitude. I'll be going then.
Well, seems there's nothing more we can do here. Let's go. Huh? Venti? What are you doing over there? You don't want us to leave you behind, do you?
Traveler, Albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar that I think you should see.
Venti, my boy. Wait, man. I've been, medium. I think medium. This is medium, man.
This place is pretty dead. By
Wait.
which I mean, there's nothing to kill.
What is it, Venti? Piece of paper.
Say it, my boy.
Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping. I didn't think much of it then. I thought it was merely a scrap piece of paper that had fallen into the cargo. After a quick glance, I stuffed it into a place nearby. But on second thought, I think it's worth having you take a look at what's written on it.
5 Kata Splendor Suiko. Mind dwelling was far from the wider world, but for my fame, peace was disturbed. In blue clad, I went there, and Chukaku to present our work. But Aoi's work was missing a page. I knelt and begged for divine wrath to be stilled, and I told what I knew of how it was lost. The previous night I had been drunk, and then a person's shadow had passed over me. Some treacherous scoundrel must have stolen the poem, leading to my great loss of face.
Let me see. Suiko chapter.
The story told in this poem roughly boils down to Suiko getting tipsy and letting some poems that were meant for the shogun get stolen. This story sounds familiar to my ear.
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just experienced, yes?
Oh, indeed it is.
Yes, I concur. The person who left this paper could quite possibly be the criminal, or even a witness to the theft. But why leave the paper here in such a fashion? And if the one who left it here was a witness, why didn't they attempt to stop the burglary?
Alright, let's not meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most rare occasion. Since we've been busy from the start of the day, let us find an inn with good drink to keep our thirst at bay.
Hey! You just sobered up and you're already thinking about more drinks? And let's not forget that Albedo still has a portrait to complete. We don't have time to be slacking up.
No, it's fine. Let's all go for a drink together. It'll be my treat.
Wait a minute. What about your portrait?
As I mentioned before, I'm the kind of artist who can work quickly once I'm inspired. And now, it seems I've found my source of inspiration. If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the appropriate recompense.
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes. One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter. Suiko pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
Wow, you really came through, Albedo. You were able to complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony.
Yes, it really is a sight to behold. Not only does it harken to the traditional style of Inazuma, but it also makes use of modern aesthetics. My figure is particularly striking. Even though I'm sound asleep in the portrait, I still appear as glorious as always.
Hey, don't get too full of yourself, Tone-Deaf Bard. You were just a model. The person in the artwork isn't actually you. Well, Albedo, who will be your next portrait?
The next one will be Aoi no Okina of the 5 Kasen.
Albedo, might I suggest waiting a little before starting on the next one? Who knows? You might soon discover another story.
Another story?
I believe he's referring to the possibility of finding another paper with tales of the 5 Kasen. According to the reference materials I was given, we've only found the first of a total of 4 chapters.
Do you think the mysterious person who left the first paper will strike again?
It certainly is a possibility. Also, there are some points regarding the stories of the 5 Kasen that have left me rather curious. For example, the reference materials make mention of 5 legendary figures, yet all the popular stories only consist of 4 parts. It appears that throughout all the stories, there is never a chapter dedicated to Kuronushi.
Yes, I'm also curious about these stories myself. But who knows? They may merely be akin to the old saying in Mondstadt. Seeds of stories wrought by the wind and cultivated by time. So for now, we need but just wait patiently.
Oh, what the? Damn! Damn! 678, which is precisely just that. Hmm. 62 wishes.
You know, there are better ways to seek out our enemies than, well...
Yeah, Tartaglia, we know. Relax, my boy. Relax. Wow.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off. Crowdsourcing competition is now underway.
Who is this Jenny everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off. Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Who is this Jenny everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Who is this Jenny everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off. Crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jenny everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off. Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jenny everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off. Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jenny everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
What's the point of the story again?
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Point of the story again?
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
I'm not used to it at all. Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win
Who is
prizes.
this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
What's the point of the story again?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
What's the point of the story
Our
again?
crowdsourcing competition
Who is
is
this
now
Jinyu
underway.
everyone keeps
Take
talking
part
about?
and win prizes.
Make sure you get in line early.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off.
Crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win
Who
prizes.
is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Anation Blessing now 10% off. blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special
Crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
crowdsourcing competition is now
Who
underway.
is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
What's the point of the story again?
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking
Now
about?
underway. Take part and win prizes.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Our
Who is
crowdsourcing
this
competition
Jinyu
is
everyone
now
keeps
underway.
talking about?
Take part and win prizes.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off. Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off. the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Crowdsourcing competition is now underway.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. An Aishan blessing, now 10% off.
Part and win prizes.
Standing here.
Just a side quest, huh? Just a side quest. Regional specialities.
Time to go.
Who knows? Who knows?
What is the situation?
So, what's the point of this story?
Illusion shattered! Shine down! Ha! There is no escape! The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Need to find.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
डेंड्रोबियम ठीक है, डेंड्रोबियम ढूंढ लेंगे, क्या दिक्कत है। key is here. Dendrobium is here. How convenient. This bitch ass fish.
Victory is almost ours! Whew, that was a tough fight!
Nice, one more. Nice.
Yeah, you nearly got him! Wow, Paimon's stomach is rumbling already!
Nice. Dendrobium done.
You can't run! Shiver!
I'm ready.
Teamwork is strength! Now you shall perish!
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Can't find anything here. Let's go here.
One with nature, as one with wind and cloud.
Judgment! Punishment! Illusion shattered! Off we go! Yeah. Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Clouds high, the birds call. Brings a smile to my face. Time to go.
LOL. That is the saddest shit I've seen.
Time to go.
There is no escape! Lights out. Inazuma shines eternal!
Cut down. Yes.
Now all we need is
Illusion
Of distant lands, choice my heart was dissuaded. Man. The lamp grass under distant skies gleaming. Itadori poetry. Poetry. What a push. Teleport no jutsu! Boom! Big reveal.
What a coincidence. I was wondering where I might be able to find you, and... Can't I come and see you when nothing is up? Alright, as much as I'd like to sit and chat with you, this time I'm here mainly for Klee. Before bringing Klee here, I told her many stories about Inazuma. It got her very excited to experience the local culture here. However, I've got other things to do in Inazuma this time, besides painting the portraits of the 5 chasm. Inazuma is not like Mondstadt. I can't just let Klee wander off by herself when I'm busy with other things. So I had to have her stay at the International Trade Association. Like, she hasn't complained. But fortunately...
Yay! Mr. Honorary Knight's here! What you talking about, Mr. Honorary Knight? Yeah! But Albedo is really busy. I can't go too far away or he'll be worried about me.
Aw, Klee, you're such a thoughtful kid. Haimon's very thoughtful, thank you very much. Haimon always thinks of you whenever she's eating a delicious slime. Yeah, that's more like it. Anyway, it is pretty cool if you allow the
Okay, let's go.
You bet I do!
As you know, Klee is our Spark Knight. You must keep her safe and sound. By which I mean, try to keep her out of trouble. For instance, if a mountain in Inazuma was to lose one of its peaks, or if there were an explosion somewhere in the city, glad to hear it.
I promise I'll bring you back in...
Great.
There are loads of cool things to do in Inazuma. Try the local cuisine, visit a shrine. What do you want to do, Klee?
Cuisine? What's that?
Hyman just meant we could take you to a local restaurant.
God.
A restaurant? Yay! Snack time!
Got it! Alright, snack time it is! Let's go!
Wow, something smells so good. I think it's coming from the steaming thingy. Mr. Honorary Knight, look at this noodly soup.
It's not noodly soup. It's tonkotsu ramen, actually.
Oh. So, what are those yellow and red thingies on that plate?
You're kidding, right? Those are tri-flavored skewers.
And what about this little yellow cake?
That's an egg roll. They're amazing. Have you really not tried one before?
Wow, tonkotsu ramen, tri-flavored skewers, and egg rolls. They all sound delicious.
They sure are. Guess you're not from around here if you haven't tried any of these before. Let me buy you an egg roll with my allowance so you can get a taste of our Inazuman food.
Really? But Master Jean said I shouldn't go taking other people's things.
Also, that's your allowance, right? Taking another kid's allowance just seems kind of wrong.
Oh, I remember you. You're Yoimiya's friend. How come you know how to make egg rolls?
Oh, we're multi-talented, boy.
Egg rolls are a piece of cake for this guy. Why don't you make some for Kree and Iwao?
Really? Wow, Paimon is so touched. You're learning.
Alright, we'll be waiting on those egg rolls. The passenger ship from Leland that we're supposed to meet should be arriving soon. Let's go to the docks. You know that Shinjo will be on board, right? So we should be careful not to say anything about the stolen novels.
Okay. Do we even have that dish? No, we don't. Go, 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 go. Very cool. I can actually. Onigiri. What the fuck would cook this, man?
Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some.
Why is that we don't have? Wow. 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 Wow, man. Mayan. Up every shit. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. What the? Easy. Now we have everything. Alrighty. Egg roll. Egg roll, easy.
mister, if you're not... Hey, mister, if you're not...
Mr. Honorary Knight.
Wow, you really can?
It's...
Yep, yep.
Yeah, these egg rolls are...
Who is Yoimiya? She makes egg rolls too?
Yoimiya can do anything. She tells stories, keeps goldfish, makes fireworks, and gives us candy too. Yoimiya's pretty much the best and most awesome person ever.
For me, the best, most awesome person in the world is my mom. And Klee knows loads of other great people too, like Mr. Albedo, Mr. Honorary Knight, Master Jean, Kaya.
Surely she's not...
Oh, well, I don't know any of those people. But anyways, I still want... In most festivals, Yoimiya's so busy that you can never find her. But this, she seems like she hasn't been in a great mood recently.
Okay, let's go play with Yoimiya.
Sad. Oh, I know. Let me tell you something that'll cheer you up. Yesterday, I won 3 beetle fights in a row against that guy with the horns on his head.
Wow, Matsuzaka. Nice work. It's not easy to beat Ito. Don't worry, Yoimiya. Maybe you can't light fireworks during the Iridori Festival, but there are still lots of other fun things to do. I know. Thanks, you guys. It's just that fireworks are banned in the city for a few days. I'm not that upset, really.
Yoimiya, it's me. I want to introduce you to a new friend, an Outlander girl. I just met her. Wait, what's your name again?
Klee. My name is Klee.
Nice to meet you, Klee. I'm Yoimiya, and I run Naganahara Fireworks.
Hello.
I love the cute outfit, with the hat and the cool little symbols. So unique. And your backpack. Wow, it's really well made.
That's a 4-leaf clover. Mom and Master Jean said it can bring me good luck.
Really? That's awesome! I bet everyone would love one of those. Also, that little fairy on your backpack is super cute, too.
That's Dodoko, my best friend. We always go fish blasting together in Starfell Lake.
Oh, Dodoko? What an interesting name. I really like it.
Yep. My mom says that when a Dodoko is born, it rides the wind and goes off on a big adventure.
Ride the wind and go off on a big adventure? Klee, your mom sounds like a very cool person.
Yep. My mom is the best and most awesome person ever. And Yoimiya, Iwao was right. You're a really cool person, too.
Thanks, Klee. I feel like we really get each other. We'll be great friends. I'm sure of it.
Oh, sure.
It's so heartwarming watching these two chat away.
Hey, Klee! Since you like four-leaf clover so much, why don't I make a firework with a four-leaf clover pattern and set it off for you?
Yeah! And after the fireworks, we can go fish blasting with Dodoko.
Hold on a second. Fish blasting? No way. Albedo was pretty clear about that.
Oh, oops. I get so excited that I completely forgot about that. The folks from the Yashiro Commission specifically warned me that no fireworks are allowed in Inazuma during Iridori Festival.
What? It's not allowed? But...
Okay then. Hey, come on! You just made a new friend! This is a happy occasion. Why are you suddenly... Yeah! We still have loads of things we can do! Right! Just like Saika said, there are lots of fun things to do.
What do you say, Klee? Sounds like the Irodori Festival could be a real blast.
The fuck?
Hi there! You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Irodori Festival. We'll be your guides, and we'll take you onto the island. Huh? Is it Paimon, or have we met somewhere before?
Yes, in fact we have. I'm Shu from Feiyun Commerce Guild. Aboard this ship we have calligraphers, painters, and even players of Theater Mechanicus. The inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce Guild seeking investment. Although the guild manager was not interested, Master still wanted to support them. We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people try Theater Mechanicus at the Irodori Festival. So the guild manager instructed Master and I to take the opportunity to come to Inazuma and investigate the product's potential.
Oh, speaking of which, where's the young master?
Master, he's,
Whoa! Xingqiu's just sitting there, sound asleep.
What? Oh. It's the traveler in Paimon. I presume you're guests in Inazuma as well? It seems fate has destined our paths to cross once again.
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Irodori Festival.
Please, no need to worry. I was a little too caught up in a novel on the voyage here. When I finally realized what time it was, the first rays of dawn were already peeking over the horizon. Yes, now that we've arrived, the Kanjo Commission will likely wish to inspect our invitation letter. Let's keep it in hand, shall we? Huh? That's odd. There was a piece of paper underneath my bag. Strange. I don't recall seeing it there before.
Ooh, let Paimon have a look. Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before. Even the handwriting looks exactly the same.
The story you found before?
Oh, yeah! In the warehouse down by the... the poem hunt competition! Yeah, that's it! A friend of ours is on Rito to paint portraits of the 5 chasm. You know, as part of the Irodori Festival. Poetic stories about the 5 chasm have been hidden in various places nearby. If you can find one of the stories and give it to this friend of ours, then there's a chance you'll become the model for the next portrait.
Wait a moment. So you mean that...
Hey! It's hard coming up with stuff on this...
There's a chance of meeting Kelks in person?
Huh? Oh, yeah. You could say that.
Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Kelks would attend the Irodori Festival, but convincing my father to let me come to Inazuma was proving to be quite the high hurdle. I had to really rack my mind to come up with the excuse of evaluating the investment value of Theater Mechanicus. Just a few days later,
Word then came that Calx would be busy painting portraits of the five Kasen during the festival. It is a most rare opportunity for both Calx and I to be in Inazuma together, but it seemed he would be too busy with the portraits to meet with me. So, I felt quite disappointed for some time now.
Don't worry, Shinjo. Even though Calx has work to do, he still has time to see friends. We can take you to see him right now. Also, we heard that Calx did illustrations for your A Legend of Sword novel.
Ah, so you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn little interest in Ryue. However, the novels are selling quite well in Inazuma with the help of Calx's beautiful illustration. Calx is not only a skilled artist, but he also carries out his craft with great alacrity. But when I looked at the art, the brushwork did not even look the slightest bit rushed. His work is truly exquisite. Oh my, I was beginning to get carried away there. Let us depart, quickly now.
Luckily, the idea of meeting Albedo managed to draw Shincho's attention and keep the situation under wraps.
How many fish we have now? 18 to 7.
Time to go.
Traveler, Paimon, how are you? And who is this accompanying you?
You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. I am the author of A Legend of Sword, Forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my pen name when meeting in person. Please, call me Xingqiu.
And you may call me Albedo then.
No, that would be most improper.
Why not? Seeing as we're both friends of the Traveler, it'd be more convenient for us to use our real names. Besides, we've already corresponded with each other many times before. In fact, I feel a bit self-conscious seeing you act so politely.
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Shinjo act this awkward before either.
You guys, it's certainly not good taste for you two to be teasing me like that. Oh, by the way, we happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition at the docks. I heard that you are collecting them.
Poem?
You know, that thing where we have to find pieces of paper with stories of the five Kasen? Venti found one, and then he was allowed to be a model for one of your portraits.
Huh? Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, I understand the story now.
Splendid. Though, I'm still piecing together the story myself. Would you...
If all of you are free, why don't we discuss this over a meal?
Oh, well, about that...
Do you have other plans, Shinjo?
No, not at all. Speaking of dining, Shimura's unagi chasuke is quite delicious. Would you like to go there?
Shimura's? Unfortunately, today is a bit windy. How about Uyu Restaurant instead?
That's perfectly fine with me. But I must first unpack my luggage. Let's meet later at Uyu Restaurant.
Something didn't quite add up just now.
Huh? No way! Paimon thinks we had Canal together.
No, Paimon, I'm not referring to us.
Huh? Shinjo's suspicious.
Paimon, you read the poem, right? Although it may seem confusing to Xingqiu on its own, what if we read it together with a previous poem we found?
Read them together? Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. So, Aoi no Okina recovered the poem and gave it to some mysterious person. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who stole the latest copies of A Legend of Sword is Shinjo himself? No way! That can't be right!
That's precisely the point of suspicion. If Xingqiu had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's Chasuke? Moreover, he didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place because of the windy weather. This means he knows that Shimura's is an open-air restaurant.
Are you saying that Xingqiu has already been in Inazuma?
Yes, that is indeed my conclusion.
But how could Xingqiu be the book thief? His mission is to fight for justice.
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time I've met Xingqiu in person, I think there must be some deeper motive at play here. The story also tells us that Aoi no Okina flees with a poem because of a threat.
Could Xingqiu be in danger?
It's difficult to say at this point. But given that your restaurant is indoors, it'll be easy. I'll be relying on your assistance to get to the bottom of this matter. Good. Then
Let's go! Let's go! Yeah!
I don't see anyone suspicious around. It's you.
This whole thing's starting to make like...
First, we must ascertain whether Xingqiu was already in Inazuma or not. If we can find evidence of him deceiving us, then we can use it as leverage to persuade him to tell us the truth. Since we're still waiting for him, why don't you go in?
Na, 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 na. Utah.
The last phase of the Irodori Festival is when they release the all-new publications. The one I'm really looking forward to is A Legend of Sword.
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible. I've got to get my hands on a copy.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat. He must be really diligent about his style.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get a good look at him then. I hear that he's actually pretty young.
Wait a minute. Did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release, but his handwriting is super neat.
Ooh, tasty food!
Albedo, what should we talk about when she...
If he really is hiding something.
Oh! Kind of...
Is that so? That is also a very valuable clue.
Hello there. What can I get for you?
Hi! Do you have any special recommendations?
Why, of course. I personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been pouring these past 2 days, so the fishing boats haven't been able to sail at all. But the weather finally cleared up today, so we have some fresh catch. sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the way here. They couldn't do anything but sleep the entire trip.
Oh, this might be some useful information.
That was delicious. Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh seafood, which is certainly to my liking.
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. How's our chance? Let's talk to Shincho and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip caused everyone to grow a little impatient. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak to the time we docked.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far. Oh, right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence. Let's discuss creating novels with Shincho.
While it is entertaining to read novels, writing one is an endeavor of its own. You must give great thought to every detail, from the layout of the plot to the rhythm of the lines. And even when you have come up with interesting content, there's still no guarantee that it will be to your liking.
I couldn't agree more. Whether it's writing a book, creating art, or studying alchemy, seldom can you really feel joy after seriously delving into the work.
Shincho and Albedo are getting into some deep topics now.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, my novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This made me feel as though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustrations, so I'm feeling slightly uneasy myself. Light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but this time, I adopted a different approach in the illustration for the last chapter.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it very fitting to draw only scenery.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come up so far.
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. So, logically speaking, there's no way he could possibly know what the illustrations look like. Shincho, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck to see Mount Yogo, that couldn't have happened!
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we, the creators, haven't received a sample copy. If that's the case, how could you know what my illustrations look like?
Well...
The jig's up, Shincho. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry. The Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can help you.
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I didn't notice for a moment that you were testing me at all. I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to explain this.
Oh! Well, if this isn't a coincidence, I didn't expect to see everyone here.
Huh? Tone-deaf Bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer of good tidings. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaki.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera.
Oh, come on.
Time to go.
Please, wait. Onodera is innocent.
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword. I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just getting ready to leave.
Oh, phew. What a relief. Wait a minute. Does everyone else here already know?
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squads here, in order to prevent the suspect from escaping.
Shinjo looks pretty flustered. What exactly?
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people are aware of the situation now. In the end, I'm the one responsible for this whole predicament.
No, Zhenyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. Everyone, please let me explain. For the Iridori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors. Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yai publishing house, but Lady Yai also gave me a lot of support. However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Zhenyu.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point. So signing events are really not my forte.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Zhenyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution. So these past few days, Zhenyu has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Zhenyu could use these few days to sign them all. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the warehouse. To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Zhenyu in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into such a huge mess. All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly handwriting. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yai publishing house had requested autographs of authors so that they could be put on display. I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature for the event. But looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice signature for the sake of my pride.
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Shinjo and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest of the people on Rito.
Yes, I understand. I'll apologize to everyone.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well. Let's tag along.
time to go.
Here we are, the venue of the Iridori Festival. Look at all these stalls. It looks super fun, doesn't it?
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told us, we could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations like this.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Genyu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Shincho looked so sleepy today.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yae Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Genyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today. We worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Genyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are 2 entirely different skills.
Even though Shincho still has to deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop. But I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about the 5 Kasen?
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things to Shinjo yet.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Shincho's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding somewhere nearby? Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Shincho with something? He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him. Oh, what's that sound? It was just a cat. It's getting late now. When the wind of death blew towards the blonde samurai?
Oh, what a long name. Must be a new one. I've never heard of it.
By Kawabunga Iki. Yomiya, this is a really strange name.
Who's this Kawabunga? It's pronounced Kayabuki Ike. That would be me. Outlander Brigade is a new series of mine, and When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai is the first volume.
Outlander's Big Raid? Is it a story about the best of friends? Kaya says that every good story has to have best friends in it.
Absolutely not. I would never allow such cliches in one of my novels. This is a book about betrayal, blood, and tears. A long and lonely struggle. A stubborn samurai's path to the truth. This is the kind of story that needs to be told.
Oh, is that right? Well, I'm not sure that's an area.
Hey, miss! Don't go! Are you sure you don't want a copy? I'll give you 40% off.
Flowers for Princess Fischl. Oh, look! It's Fischl's story!
That's right. Flowers for Princess Fischl. Have you read this book before, Clee?
Nope, but I know Fischl's story. Fischl always hangs out with Oz. Everyone in the Adventurers Guild knows. It's just like how me and Dodoko are always together. I wonder if Dodoko is getting bored now.
Oh, Clee, I'm afraid it can't be helped. There are a lot of flammable items at the festival, and we have to be careful not to start a fire.
Darn. It seems like even the Iridori Festival can't cheer Klee and Yoimiya. There must be plenty of things you can do with Dodoko.
Yeah, like, Wait, so that's what you're suggesting?
That's right! The Iridori Festival is a place for putting your work on display. You could show Dodoko's story for everyone here! Bingo! What do you think of that idea, Klee?
Mr. Albedo taught me how to paint. I can paint the story of Dodoko's adventure in Inazuma.
That's very imaginative. I think it's a great idea. We can even put the finished story on display at the festival.
Yay, great! Dodoko will be so happy.
Perfect. Okay, so I have some paper, paintbrushes, and paint at the shop. Let's go to the shop and paint your story there.
Yay! Let's go, let's go!
Those two can run so fast when they're motivated. We better catch up.
Easy teleport.
Clay and I just had a discussion, and we've decided.
We're gonna keep the content of the story a secret from you guys for now.
Obviously, I can't tell you why. Or you'll see. Don't worry. You can keep exploring the festival while we're busy in the shop. We'll be here when you get back.
Come on, Yoimiya, we should get going. Let's go inside and start painting.
Paimon was hoping that we could all paint together. So unfair. Actually, Paimon's got an idea. Dodoko do after getting to Inazuma?
Dodoko goes to eat tri-flavored skewers, tonkatsu ramen, and egg rolls.
Ooh, that sounds great! Is that what you're painting? It looks beautiful! Once you're done painting, let's go get it printed. We'll print a whole bunch of copies and go hand them out at the festival. Although it'll cost a lot more to get it printed. Let me see if I've got enough saved up.
It's okay, Yumiya. I have some more. Look.
50 more is probably not quite enough. Well, if we don't have enough, we can ask the Traveler for ideas.
Mr. Honorary Knight has helped a lot already. I don't want to trouble him, so I think I should just go fish blasting to earn some more.
No fish blasting. Paimon and Traveler said so.
Oh, then we've got no choice. We'll have to go see Mr. Albedo.
Who's Mr. Albedo?
He's my older brother. He's super duper smart. He can do anything. And he knows how to paint, too. He paints Hilly Charles, Kaya, and even Dodoko. That's why he came to Inazuma this time, to do paintings for everyone.
Oh, is that right? Then I guess Mr. Albedo must be an artist working with the iPublishing House.
An artist? Oh, that means he has 2 jobs. One as an alchemist, teaching sucrose alchemy, and the other as an artist, doing paintings for people. Yumiya, let me show you something. Mr. Albedo taught me you can paint Dodoko's color like this.
Wow, I can see the resemblance. All right, I'll paint the streets, and Klee, you fill in Dodoko's colors. Hey, you can even write the story over here to explain what's happening in the painting.
Okay, let's write this.
Oh,
Shoot!
I didn't hear the last part. Dodoko sure had a lot of fun in Inazuma.
Those 2 sound like they really did go on an adventure with Dodoko.
Now, we have to get Dodoko's story printed. Come on, let's go to the iPublishing House.
Time to go. Please speak to President Sun.
Here we are. This is the iPublishing House.
That publishing house. Ooh, it's Auntie Aratani. I know Auntie Aratani.
Auntie? Who's that calling me Auntie? Oh, it's the little girl who came with Mr. Kells. How can I help you, little girl?
Auntie Aratani, can you help me get Dodoko's story printed so that everybody can see it?
Dodoko?
Oh, so not only that, Dodoko is also real. Look.
Huh? I don't quite understand.
We better explain this to her.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'd love to help you make this wish come true, but I'm sorry. The deadline has passed for accepting printing orders for the Iridori Festival.
Auntie, are you saying Dodoko won't be able to meet everyone after all?
Oh, I'm sorry, little girl.
Oh, Klee, don't be upset. We still have meat. Miss Aratani, is there any way at all we can still get this printed? We can pay extra. And if you're short on staff to help with the printing, I can pitch in.
Miss Yoimiya, I understand we've been printing many people's personal works for this festival, and a lot of the books are already well behind schedule. At a time like this, we really can't squeeze any more jobs in.
What do we do? Seems like no. I won't let that happen. I remember this one time when I was little. Pop said he'd take me to the festival, but he was so busy with work that he forgot all about it. I waited and waited and kept wondering when that night I cried miserably.
If we can't get it printed, then we'll just have to find our own way. I can paint. Over the next few days, I'll paint as many as I can. Then we'll take those to the festival.
My. Yoimiya has quite a determined spirit. I like it very much.
It's Miko, and Albedo too.
We heard everything.
Oh, Lady Ai.
It's okay, I know. You were just following the rules. Plus, we really are quite behind schedule with the printing. But our mission at Yai Publishing House is to bring dreams and happiness to the masses. It would be a crying shame if we couldn't even help one adorable little girl. Let me think. Oh, Yoimiya, little girl. You can print your book, but on one condition, okay?
Of course, Lady Guji. Just tell us. Whatever this condition is, I am ready to face it.
Dear me, it's nothing that horrendous. You make it sound like I'm some sort of wicked witch. All I mean is, if you want to get your work printed now, there is only one way. You have to combine it with another print. However, there is only a small amount of space remaining in the book in question. Your book is too big, so you have to reduce it to about half the size to make it fit. Is this a sacrifice that you're willing to make?
Klee, Lady Guji is saying that we can print the book if we shrink it to half the size. Are you okay with that?
Yup, I am. Thanks, Miss Guji lady.
What an adorable little girl. Well, that settles it. Aratani, make sure it gets printed with tonight's batch.
Yes, Lady Ai. I'll get right on it.
Combining the prints is a plausible solution, but it'll cause a lot of extra work for the printing press. I am terribly sorry about that.
No problem. Just think of it as my greeting gift for little Klee. Besides, the Yai Publishing House will need your help with the illustrations again next time, Mr. Counts. You could also consider it as my investment in you. All right, I won't disturb you two any longer. Bye-bye now.
Yay! Everything worked out perfectly. Now, we just need to wait for an update from the Yai Publishing House.
Yoimiya, Traveler. Thank you for keeping Klee so exceptionally well entertained for me.
No worries.
Yes, you're right. Klee is family, after all.
Oh, no. Hacks. Fuck. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, boys.
Wind strike.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy boys.
Look, Mr. Honorary Knight. Auntie Aratani brought us Doloco's story.
Now we can finally see what secrets Klee and Yoimiya were keeping from us.
Oh, it's really nothing that exciting.
It's the story of Doloco and me.
And me. And you guys.
Wait, what the?
Paimon's in the story too! This is Paimon's first time featuring in a...
Of course we included Paimon. This is the story of everyone's big happy adventure with Dodo.
This story is me and Yoimiya's gift from Mr. Honorary Knight.
Lady Yai wanted me to inform you that since this book was printed together with another work, there are many more copies than you may have anticipated. We won't charge you a printing fee, but in exchange, the extra copies of your book will be included as a free gift with purchases of the other book. Is that okay with you?
Oh, are you sure? I mean, it's fine by us, but what does the author of the book think?
Actually, the book that yours was printed with is called the Tevat Travel Guide.
Hey, that's Mommy's book! So, Klee's mother is a writer?
Klee's mother, Alice, is a renowned adventurer in Tevat, and the Inazuma edition of her popular Tevat Travel Guide series is set to be released imminently. Lady Yai has already decided on how to promote it. A joint endeavor by Tevat's biggest and best mother-daughter adventure duo. It's sure to be a huge hit.
Paimon knew it! Mika would never do anything for free.
A typical move by Lady Yai. It works out well for everybody, doesn't it?
Yup, I'm super happy because I'm so glad I can.
Hello, free money. Goodbye, lovely.
Time to get the cables welcome.
Wait, what the fuck is holding up? Holy shit, man! Oh, damn! 762. That's still 4 wishes, sadly.
Please, get in line over here.
Wind strike.
There are leaves. And I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.